part 1 of the series, Birthing the Queen Within. I wanted to share my story with others, young, old, it doesn't matter, whomever had a story of abuse, neglect, those who feel as though their voice was stolen from them, those who feel as though because of what happened to them as children, that they will never become anything great, that you are useless, and maybe even want to take it all away by ending it all. I want to speak to that person, that woman, that young man. I don't know who may find this, but I want to tell my story because I truly, truly, truly understand. And I believe when in the word where it says they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the words of their testimony. And it seems crazy because I'm a certified life coach. I'm a self-love coach. I'm a mindset transformation coach. And I tell my story all the time. But something about seeing it in print, something about saying this story the way I wrote it in the book, it really opens my eyes up to believe that even for me, the person that went through it, how did I overcome? How did I overcome the pain that I went through? There's so many parts of my story. But I wanted to start this series off by sharing what I've written, because this book is a guide to help you, that helped me to understand me, to really dive in to me. So in the book, I share stories and I share techniques and things that I've done to help me get through my process. And let me share with you, my process is a continual day-to-day process. Because sometimes, you think you've overcame something in one area, but something else peeks its ugly head. But I want to tell that woman who might never told anyone. It wasn't your mom. It could have been a cousin, a friend of the family. I want to tell you that your story matters. You matter. Regardless of how you might felt when it happened, and even today. I'm telling you, I was hiding in the shadows of my pain. But when I was able to tell my story, it was the most power I've ever had. And as victims of sexual molestation and abuse, you feel powerless, especially as a child. You feel powerless. You have no control. But when I can stand in front of an audience or even get on YouTube and tell my story, I grabbed back my power. I regained my power because I realized that I have a voice. So like I said, I wanted to start this series off like this because I need to be more transparent. So if you watched any of my previous videos, I told you I'm doing a pivot on my channel. I'm talking more about documenting my life, documenting my experiences. I am writing a new narrative for myself, for my bloodline. I'm taking life serious. I'm taking my life serious. Yeah, I can help other people and give you techniques and trainings and things like that. But until I take my life serious, it's all a facade. And so that's why I wrote this book. The book was actually published in February. I released it on Valentine's Day, and I had to go back to my own book. I've been working on this book, and it was like, I thought I was done, but I wasn't done. I had to add more because it was more of the story that I'll definitely share with you guys in me that I needed to share. And I just let it go. For the past couple of weeks, past months since February, I haven't picked up the book. I haven't read the book again. And you can tell because reading this opened things back up. And so Spirit had me to go back to the book. Spirit said, go work your book. Queen, you have a book in you. It might not be in print. It might be a book only for you. But I need you to reopen your book. I need you to go back on the inside of you and heal. I need you to listen to inspiration, listen to people who love you, listen to motivation, something that to get you back to a place of healing. Because a lot of times as adults, we want to shut it down. We don't want to talk about it. We hide it away in the closet and don't deal with it at all. But I want to tell you on today, it's time to deal with that brokenness. It's time to deal with that pain. It's time to deal. Y'all, if you have to get a therapist, a psychologist, if you have to cry, because I had a lot of those, and I had a therapist, okay? I didn't do this by myself. I had a couple of therapists throughout my time of healing and restoration. So if you have to go that route, do it. You can write yourself a new narrative. You are the author of your story, just like I am. So yes, I was sexually molested by my mother. I did acts and performed acts that I cannot even stomach to say. Yes, my mother was on drugs. We were on welfare. There was nights in our house where we had no electricity. It was nights that we didn't have any food. Yes, I don't know my father. If he walked past me on the street today, if he's still living, I wouldn't even know that was him. I don't have it all together. And when I was able to figure that out and stop pretending that I did, that's when my healing started. So I don't know who needed to hear this. I don't know if you got anything from this, but I know I did. And I'm starting my process over again. And this time I'm documenting my thoughts. I'm documenting how I feel. And I'm documenting this because somebody needs to hear it. I am 48 years old. And I'm glad to be that age. My mother didn't get to see 48. But I did. And I'm changing the narrative for our bloodline. I'm changing the narrative for my family. I will love my daughter. I will be the role model my daughter needs and my granddaughter. It wasn't easy, y'all, but it can be done. Living the life that I've lived has not been easy. It hasn't. I don't know where I could have been if I made different choices. You would have thought I would be on drugs somewhere, prostituting. Nah. I refuse. I always dreamt and imagined more for my life. And that's what God has given me. More. More love, more joy, more happiness, more love of self. Because when I think back about my mother, her mother, I never met my grandmother. Far as I know from the stories that I was told as a young kid, my mother, which is my grandmother, dropped her and her sister off at their grandmother, which is my great-grandmother's house, and left them and never came back. There was a curse somewhere in my bloodline. I don't know if my grandmother was on drugs. I don't know. But my mother turned out the way she did. I don't know if it was depression, low self-esteem. I was too young to have those type of conversations, but I know that I refuse to be like her. Now, some people say, oh, you probably hate your mother. I did. I did. I said in the book. I didn't know how to feel. I lost my mother, but she was a monster that took my innocence, that took the childlike experience and imagination from me, right? So yeah, I hated her. But as time went on, as another woman, I felt sorry for her. Now, that was a process. That was a lot of forgiving. That was a lot of healing. That was a lot of therapy, okay? I'm an advocate for therapists. That was a lot of that. But as a woman, I know that she must have seen or went through things that I could never think of or imagine. And I wouldn't know until this day because there's no one around to tell me. But I felt sorry for her because she was so out of it, so weak-minded, that she was sick on drugs, sick in her body, sick in her mind. She always talked about dying. I tell you, words have power. And when I tell you, she will always talk about dying and being sick. And it seemed like she had this phobia or whatever you would call it. She will always be sick. I'll write about that in the book too. And I don't know. I just felt sorry. I feel sorry for her now. Here I am, 48. I have 3 kids, a daughter of my own, which is now 20. I have a granddaughter. I really feel sorry for her because she missed out on the life and witnessing my life and witnessing her great-granddaughter, her granddaughter. She missed out because she was so gone in her mind to be on drugs, to live the life that she lived, to harm her own flesh and blood. I never will understand it. I will never understand how you hurt your own child. So, yeah. There will be a part 2. I don't know how long this series would be. I might play it through, go through the whole summer with this, maybe once a month, or I'm not going to do it every week, but maybe once a month, add to the series. But however many there are, I'm not doing this for a pity party. I'm not doing these series for anyone to feel sorry for me. I am healed. I am healing, and I am being honest with myself. And you know, my kids, they know the story. My husband know the story. This isn't something new for my family. I'm not coming out and people be shocked. But if you don't know me, you're probably shocked by this story. But, you know, I'm not doing it for a pat on the back or a hug. You know, those are good. I love hugs. But I'm doing this to help someone else. To let you know that this, whatever you've been through, and it might wasn't molestation, it might wasn't abuse, whatever you've been through, guess what? You can get through it. The word is through. You're no longer there. You have moved on, and you can do better. You can become whoever you want to become. You can write your own narrative. That in your past does not define who you are today. And I want you to get hope again. I want you to find the hope that you need to keep going. I don't want you to hold on to that extra baggage, that pain, that sorrow, that fear. Yeah, that's a part of you. Yeah, that might have helped form who you are today. But guess what? If you want to change who you are, if you want better for your life, you have the possibility to change it. But it takes the work you have to put in. It takes loving on yourself. It takes caring for yourself. It takes admitting that, you know what, I'm hurt. Facing your fears. It takes admitting that you are upset, you're mad, you're angry, you want to fight. But guess what? You can't stay there. You got to feel what you feel, sit in it, get the help you need, and move forward. Y'all, it's time to move forward. Life is too short. And in my case, the person that harmed me is no longer here. And I cannot still hold on to that pain and that hatred, because all that does is deteriorate me. That made me angry. It made me fearful. It made me hurt. It made me cry. It made me anxious, depressed. I cannot live that way. Take back your control. Take back what's yours. Live a life of abundance and joy. It is possible. You just got to do the work. I love you guys. For today's note to self, it is, I'm going to do the work in order to live a life of fulfillment, joy, and abundance. Queens, if you like this content, if you want to hear more of my story of how I birthed the queen within, if you wanted more of this series, what have you, make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this, comment below. I'm here if you need prayer. Comment your prayer request below. If you feel comfortable sharing your story below, do that. Because I'm building a community here on YouTube. I have a community. I have a tribe on Facebook. You can join the tribe. All my links are in the description box. You can follow me on all social medias if you choose to. If I connect with you, let's rock out together. I'm creating a tribe here on YouTube to help somebody to get over this hurt, this pain, and birth the queen within by embracing your inner power. See, some of you feel powerless. I'm here to tell you that you do have power, and it's time to embrace it and live the life of fulfillment, joy, and happiness. It is your portion. This is your time, queen. So make sure you stay connected with me. Comment below. Like this video. Come on. The more likes I get, and it's not for me. I don't get paid for these videos. I don't even have enough followers to get paid. But if you like this, more people can see it, right? More people can see it. More people can be a part of this community of healing, y'all. Come on, it's about healing. I want to see you healed, queen. I want to see you healed. I want to see you happy and living a life of abundance. And it starts with you. You have the power. Let's tap in. Let's be a part of the tribe. And I will see you in the next video. Remember, I love you, but God loves you more. And I'm going to see each of you at the top because there's no more room at the bottom. Self-love isn't selfish. It's necessary. Okay? Stay fabulous, y'all. Peace.